conditions. So the textbook here stated a number of conditions. One of them is it should be offered on time. So we know that the time of Eid prayer is the same as Duha prayer. And the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ was to pray it after the sun rises by 10 to 15 minutes, and we will come to discuss this later on, inshallah. One of the conditions is that the required number, if you recall, the required number for Jumu'ah is three people, one imam and two in the congregation. The other condition is that it should be performed by residents. So if I'm traveling to another country with a group of believers and we're travelers and it's Eid time, we should not offer Eid prayer. Why? Because we're travelers. But if there were residents offering it and we join them, this is okay. There's no problem in that. As for the place for offering it, it is sunnah, open space and away from residential buildings. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ did all of his life. And the reason, as some scholars suggested, is that the majority of people in the vicinity, in the city, in the town, would see how many Muslims are offering it. So it's a beautiful sight for the believers to feel strong and many. And it's a horrifying sight for others who intend ill to the Muslims when they see that they are collaborating and they are joining hands in congregation. It's a beautiful sight that the enemies would think twice before thinking of attacking the Muslims who are expressing their solidarity through this beautiful ritual. Now, some would say, well, actually this is wrong, because the vast majority of schools of thought, the vast majority of the Muslims, scholars in the schools of thought, say that it should be prayed in the musalla. Why? They said because the Prophet ﷺ told us that praying in his masjid is 1,000 times better than praying elsewhere, of course, other than the Masjid of Mecca. Yet he never prayed Eid prayer in it, which indicates that Eid prayer place is not in the masjid, and that it is supposed to be in an open area, in an open space away from the buildings, as he used to do, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he would never had skipped great reward such as praying in his masjid unless it was something that was mandatory to offer elsewhere. And this is what called a group of scholars, a lot of scholars, to condemn praying Eid prayers in the masjid and consider it to be an innovation, simply because you cannot execute the order of the Prophet ﷺ to have girls and women in menses attending it. How would they be able to enter the masjid? This is not possible. So, especially in Eid, subhanallah, in the subcontinent, it shows you how ignorant the people there who insist on blocking women from attending salat in the masjid. The scholars definitely do not agree. do not approve of such blockage. But it is the masses, it's the hooligans running these masjids who prevent women from attending the prayer, going clearly against the command and the direction of the directive of the Prophet ﷺ when he said, do not prevent women from attending prayers in the masjid. But anyhow, may Allah make it easy for the Muslims there.